Welcome to the Goat Lion Show, the second of its kind. Today, my guest is my brother, Neo Retro,
Hello.
or Nate, you want to introduce yourself?
Yeah, I would just go by my username, Neo Retro. Um, yeah, I'm.
So we went, so this is the second of our kind. I'm really happy we're doing this. Can you see the screen? Can you see everything?
I can see
Okay.
everything.
All right. So let's go straight to the articles. So number one is from CoinDesk.com. The Federal Reserve is experimenting with a digital dollar.
Hmm.
The US
What
Federal Reserve is actively investigating distributed ledger technologies and how they might be used for digitalizing the dollar. Federal Reserve
Hmm.
Board Governor Leo Brainerd said the US Central Bank has been testing DLT over the past several years to study what the digital currency might do the existing payments ecosystem, monetary policy, financial stability, and the banking sector.
So what exactly? So do they mean to completely get rid of the cash or like?
Exactly. So this is all about talking about getting rid of cash, getting rid of fiat currency,
Hmm.
and distributing cash, using cash. This is already happening in Europe. I'm from Germany, and just a few years ago, they're slowly stop printing. Like, so the highest amount in euro is 500. The highest bill is 500. So slowly they will get rid of the $500 bill, then the 200, the 100, and then they will get rid of all cash currencies. In Sweden, they are already 90% using no cash, and
And
there's many places in Sweden, even just going shopping, just going to a 7-Eleven there, where you cannot use cash.
I didn't know about that,
Yeah,
but
now
I
you
think
know.
China has completely gotten rid of their cash, hasn't they?
Really?
Yeah, I think China, if not yet, China is about to completely get rid of its cash. But I think China is already enforcing that you can only use your card, not cash anymore.
Yeah. So in this article, they're saying that they want to replace cash with a like a like an online currency, like Bitcoin, Libra, like with a cryptocurrency. So
Oh, so
yeah, what do you
in
think? What do you think about this?
okay, I have two. I think there's two. One big worry that the federal government has, and that is the dollar is the international currency. That is the backup. Since gold is not the backup currency, like not currency, but since gold is not the backup for money anymore, now U.S. dollar is the backup for money, right? So a country's value, monetary value, is dependent on how much U.S. dollar it can hold.
Yeah.
And with cryptocurrency and the decline of the possible decline of oil, the U.S. dollar's central power is at risk. I think, or at least they perceive it that way. So I think what the United States Federal Reserve is thinking of is if they can turn the dollar completely digital, they can circumvent and basically take over the cryptocurrencies. Does it make sense?
Yeah, kind of. What's the
Okay.
second reason?
The second reason is a reshuffling of wealth. Because already with Corona, what most of the $3 trillion that was given out as stimulus went to big corporation and financial institutions, and not to like consumers and people who actually suffer from Corona, right? And I think what basically, if everyone has to have their money in financial institutions, they've only they've only two ways of saving their money. They can either put it in banks or invest in stocks, right? Or like something like that, or buy other assets. So what this basically is a push for people to put their money into institutions and not have private power over their own currency or their own money. Which would just give institutions more power. So I think institutions like banks and corporations who want people to buy stocks and stuff are really interested in this.
Yeah.
Because that's the only way for people to like have their money saved up. And then let's say everyone has their currency digital, and then they're having something like a negative interest rate on like savings. Since people cannot store their money in cash and want not pull their money from their bank account, what do they do if there's a negative interest rate?
I don't know.
They'll probably invest. Yeah, they'll probably invest in assets, right? So it's just another way of shuffling money to companies without actually directly handing them. Because what they've done now is by basically printing money, the Federal Reserve has been putting money into corporations directly into assets and trying to inflate them.
Yeah.
But this is just another way of doing the same thing without printing money. So I see it just as a reshuffling of wealth, so that we are forced to put our money into random institutions because we have no other choice.
Yeah, and
I'm
that's
not sure how I
especially
like
sad
that.
if you have no idea about how to invest your money or how to put your cash into an asset that is appreciating instead of depreciating. 90% of people I talk to day to day, they have no goddamn idea what I'm doing on the stock market. They think I'm gambling or something. They have no idea. They don't know what I'm doing.
Which is where you come in, right? To educate people a bit on how.
Yeah, so I don't know. I don't know. I don't like this. It is just again just infringing our freedoms. I think it's exactly. Because like there's no like you have to like look. They're banning TikTok, right? What's the reason for banning TikTok? Oh, because it's a Chinese company that are spying on us, right? Okay. Exactly. Well, we all know that the US is spying on us too. So like our government is spying on us. So that's okay, but if they do it, it's not okay. So they're infringing our privacy by the day more and more, especially with COVID-19. They are they even use it as a reason here. The COVID-19 crisis is a dramatic reminder of the importance of it. Like it's just a dumb reason to take more of our freedoms away, to get more under our skin, and take away our privacy.
I don't understand the argument.
Yeah. Now they want to not allow you to make transactions that they don't know about, like private transactions. What if I just I just want to pay with cash. I just don't want them to know. But now they're gonna know every single transactions you're doing, right? And I really don't like it.
And I don't understand the argument of. I just read the article that they're saying that it could be a good way of distributing emergency stimulus funds to people. But we can already do that. I mean, people have bank accounts. If I want to use cryptocurrency, I can use Bitcoin. Like I can have PayPal and do online trading, like buy stuff online.
Yeah, you can.
PayPal account.
Yeah, exactly. But
it doesn't make any sense. So getting rid of cash just limits my options when I already have all the options right now. I don't understand the argument of, we're moving into the future.
Yeah. And then I see
we're already there. Like I already have all the options.
Yeah, but
so why
but
do
you can take care. But you can take care of yourself. That's the difference. You do not need a parental government that takes care of you. That's the difference. You value freedom over stability and equality. That's the thing. But most people don't. Most people do not value their freedom. They want an easy life. They want to be taken care of. They want to eat in a cafe every day. They want to drink some wine once in a while. And they don't care. They want to be taken care of. And I was reading, not on this article, but when I went through TikTok, went through Facebook, all these influencers, like people like me who make videos online, they're painting this as if it's a good thing. Especially those cryptocurrency gurus out there. Oh, they're getting a huge boner for this. oh yeah, invest into Bitcoin, invest, like absolutely nuts. Because again, they don't value freedom, right?
That's the thing. They're a bit selfish, right?
A
Because
bit.
for things that they don't believe will affect them, they don't care about freedom. But when it comes to stuff that will affect them directly,
Yeah.
or then suddenly freedom matters to them.
Yeah, let me
You know.
tell you something about this. So all these people, like I'm talking to you out there who's investing into Bitcoin, like not you, Neo. I mean like everyone
Yeah.
who's listening. Like if you're investing into Bitcoin, you have this huge boner for Bitcoins and cryptocurrencies and stuff. Look what happened when COVID hit. Everyone pulled their investments. All the hedge funds, all the mutual funds, big institutions, everyone went crazy and pulled the investments. And you know who else pulled their investments? People who are invested in Bitcoin. They also put their investments. Bitcoin went down too during Corona.
Yeah.
Isn't that exactly why you invested into Bitcoin? Because of crisis, or because of when the to make, like when the dollar collapses or when your fiat currency collapses, that you have a backup currency that you can use? And yet most people pulled their money out of that. That doesn't make any goddamn sense to me.
It probably is because they they thought they would be short on cash, and they used Bitcoin as a way to make quick bucks, because they
Yeah,
thought it's going to
exactly.
explode. They
Exactly.
don't use Bitcoin as like an actual money.
Yeah, exactly. And now they're
And
saying, oh, Bitcoin's at $1,000 per coin at the moment, and like, oh, it's gonna become 10,000, it's become 100,000. I strongly disagree. I don't think so. Bitcoin's not an investment, and I do not recommend you investing, quote unquote, into Bitcoin. It's not gonna be $10,000. It's not gonna be replacing. It's not gonna replace currency. It's absolutely not.
I don't know. I feel like these people are investing as if they're already millionaires. If I had a few $1,000,000, I would buy a few Bitcoins just to have them.
Yeah, I mean, if you want to
Right? Like,
diversify, yeah, I've nothing like. Look, you can invest into Bitcoin. Yeah, I
you
mean,
know.
yeah, but they are acting like, you know what I mean, right? They're like acting up. And
No, no, exactly. Like, if I
like if
had
you want to
the money.
diversify, of course, especially when you don't, like, you shouldn't diversify into something else than cash and stock market assets and those things. Like you should, like, you also should have some gold. You should have silver. You can have Bitcoin. You don't want to put all your eggs in one basket, right? Whatever happens, you want to be prepared. And of course, a digital currency, you can diversify into a digital currency like Bitcoin as well. But other than that, I don't recommend it.
Yeah, I don't understand the whole digital dollar thing. Maybe I need a better explanation. I don't understand. Is it like a different currency that's purely digital? Because the dollar is already digital. It's already
Yeah.
digital. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
I,
Exactly. That's what
I
I'm
don't
saying.
I don't understand it. I don't understand what is this even about.
Yeah. Yeah, they want to be like, like in those science fiction movies with what, Justin Timberlake, I don't know the name of the movie, where they all have like, they live forever and they basically pave their life that's remaining, the remaining time of their life. That's like their currency. And it's like this
Oh,
barcode on your forearm that you can scan everywhere. And if it goes to zero, you just die.
well, a lot of people would die. There's a lot of people who spend very carelessly.
Yeah.
And
Well,
then they would blame those who live long for keeping lifespan away from them when they spent their own lifespan carelessly, right?
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, anything else you want to add before we move on to the next article?
I just think I just don't see a point when the dollar is already digital.
Yeah, all your
I
numbers.
think this is just
Yeah,
yeah.
like the numbers in your bank account, all these numbers you see, they don't really exist. Like
It's all
like
numbers.
yeah, yeah. It's all numbers anyways. So I don't know. Well, anyways, we're gonna move to the next article. So for that one is completely completely different, and I want to show you. If you didn't watch this one, right? yet?
No, not yet.
So let's watch this together, maybe until like 5 minutes or so. But this is about 3D printing.
This is from Seeker.
Stargate is the world's largest metal 3D printer, entirely built and designed in-house. The core of it includes 3 robot arms, one of which is doing printing, and the other 2 are doing post-processing. This is a 6-degree of freedom industrial robot.
I hope they don't take
So
the
it can move
podcast down
anywhere
because of this.
within about a 14-foot radius of its center.
No, we're just going through this.
Right now,
Look how
the
cool that
biggest
thing
parts
looks.
we make are 9-foot diameter.
Why are they
and about
censoring
15
it?
feet tall, and our printers are only getting bigger over time. We aim to go from print to launch pad in less than 60 days.
Okay.
We're in an exciting time for spaceflight innovation. There's SpaceX's reusable rockets, trips to the far side of the moon, NASA's Commercial Crew program is finally getting underway, and there's a startup in LA's aerospace hub that's on a mission to completely 3D print a rocket. We met up with one of their co-founders for a look inside their operations.
My name is Jordan Noon. I'm co-founder and chief technology officer at Relativity. Me and Tim actually met when we were students. We've known each other almost 10 years now. He graduated, went to Blue Origin. I graduated, went to SpaceX. Both Tim and I saw the promise of 3D printing, and we wanted to see the advantage of that applied to an entire rocket.
But this isn't the desktop 3D printing you're used to seeing us cover here at Seeker. This is a different type of additive manufacturing, where an entire assembly line can be built around machines that use powerful lasers to create industrial parts.
It's
Okay.
the SLS printing, right?
Yes. All right. I wanted to show you this because we actually own a 3D printer, like a desktop version of a 3D printer. And it's absolutely amazing. So these guys, they're building a rocket from scratch, ready, launch pad ready in 60 days. And their company is called Relativity. And this is their website. And now, because we are an investing channel, how do you invest in those? How do you, like, I mean, first up, what do you think? First up, what do you think about this?
I'm not too sure. Because I know that SpaceX already built an assembly line that builds rockets really fast. And I think almost as fast as they said 60 days, but I think SpaceX can build them as fast, the new Starship. So
Let's
it's
see.
definitely a promising technology, but this rockets, SpaceX.
4 to 6 months.
Yeah, every booster leaves the factory about once every 3 or 4 weeks. There's been a booster in 3 to 4 weeks
3 to 4 weeks.
per booster,
So, which is like,
a month, right?
yeah,
So that's 30 days.
Like- yeah.
So that's the thing, like the SpaceX rockets are proven to work properly. So I'm not sure about the specific startup. I'm just saying.
So what I was getting from these, so a typical rocket has about 10,000 parts. Like if you want to shoot it into orbit.
Oh yeah, they say 100 times.
And there you
fewer
go.
parts, yeah.
And they can make the same thing with 1,000 parts. So the whole point of this company is not to make rockets, right? The point of this company is to make the assembly line, which already exists, this process of assembling parts, faster and more efficient
Oh,
with
the parts
3D
look pretty
printing.
good.
And look at
Parts
those.
look really good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Oh, and I suppose, yeah, sorry, I don't want to cut you,
no, it's just say,
but I suppose, when you, with this 3D printing, you can make a model and like build it way faster instead of an assembly line, right? Like you can do prototyping faster.
yeah, you model
And
it.
test your
you
parts, yeah.
Exactly. So, do you know the new trailer of Halo where they make the suit?
Yeah.
So, we're getting closer and closer to something like that.
Yeah.
So, the modern assembly line, like the assembly line in general, is something that has been around for a fairly long time. It's kickstarted the Industrial Revolution. Just the idea of an assembly line made our modern world possible. But what if through 3D printing, we actually revolutionize that assembly line and bring it to the next step? Yeah. So it looks more like something like out of Halo.
Because, I mean, I would say the assembly line is like a 2D line. It's a line, right? So it's a 2D flow.
Mm-hmm.
But a 3D printing is 3D, you know? It's like 3D is, it's a three-dimensional assembly line. Like it could be, I feel like there could be like some sort of innovation.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like instead of having people or robots that are like building each part like separately, you can have like you have now one robot, one machine, making several parts in one go. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like this might be promising, and I mean you're absolutely right. Like what I'm saying is like the point is to revolutionize the assembly line. That's what they're trying to do. And 3D printing is still like kind of new. And if you look, they started out in 2014 and it received the first like good funding mid 2018. And look at them now. Look at them now, 20th of August. Like they hiring more and more people. They have higher financing than ever. Look at this, like 3 times as much financing than the 2 years before that, than a year before that, actually. And that's an estimated employee growth, like after this line, right?
Yes.
So it went from here to here, so it will go from here to at least up here, right? That's why the line is here. And now to the big question, can you invest in them on the stock market? No, they didn't go IPO yet. But I read several articles where they are talking about going IPO. He said it. So this is another article. The gentleman who owns this, he says that somewhere here. So cash from the founder, former superstar. And he says, if anything, the presence of growth capital investment firm like Bond, which has not invested in companies operating in what some investors have considered to be frontier markets or technologies, speaks to the strength the space industry as a whole. So he says, our entire investment strategy is to invest at the inflection point where things cross over from frontier to mainstream investments.
Oh, you mean, yeah, they made a typo, frontier.
Yeah, frontier. To mainstream investing, says Knauf. We've spoken to what amount of billions of dollars in potential demand of the company over time. They need a faster, better, cheaper solution. So they already have contracts with telecommunication companies so they basically build rockets to bring satellites into orbit. And they use Telesat and MuSpace for their low Earth orbit constellations. And Spaceflight and Momentus, which provide rideshare and in-space shuttle positioning service for small and medium-sized satellites. So those things work.
Yeah.
Those things are not only like, oh, we have this idea. Like this guy is already printing it. Look at this huge machine. Looks like out of a science fiction movie. They're printing functional parts. And they have contracts. And if you look at here, you can see relativity investors, 26. So private investors, right? Bold Capital Partner, Bold Capital and Bond Capital in San Francisco. So these guys have they don't show how much, but it must be huge holdings. And they're all venture capitals, right? Venture capital. They want to see growth. And if they wouldn't see that in them, they wouldn't be here investing into them. And you can go on their website, and then you can go at the bottom here, and then you go what was that, contact, and you go to investors. Here we go. You fill out your name and you say, hey, look, I have $10 I want to invest. I have $100 for you. But you can ask them. What options do you have for smaller investors, for personal investors, for not holding? They'll probably send you a message back, hey, we only want like firms, holding company firms. our minimum requirement is $2 million, blah, blah, blah. That's what they're probably going to answer you. But the squeaky wheel will get the grease, right? You have to ask. You will not go anywhere in life without asking. So you can always ask. And I'm actually going to do that. And yeah.
You should, yeah. This seems quite promising, if I have to say so.
Mm-hmm.
Again, there's some issues with them competing with companies like SpaceX, Blue Origin, Virgin, but I don't think that's their goal, right?
Mm-hmm. And we can see competitors.
And they might get bought out, right? That's another thing. Like someone like Virgin or SpaceX might come in and try to get their technology.
Yeah. Yeah. And look at their board. Co-founder, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I think 3D printing is the future. There's going to be a 3D printing revolution. Again, there was a big hype about them a few years ago, but this will happen again, I promise you. And not only this, they're 3D printing those labs and buildings. SpaceX is planning to build on Mars. And NASA too. They will 3D print those. Just to let you know. The day will come where we will 3D print our houses. Like there's already a machine that like 3D prints the house. And imagine how much cheaper things will get. Instead of having like 10, 15 workers who built your foundation, blah, blah, blah. You need like what, 1-2 people setting up that thing. Maybe digging out the foundation. Maybe you need people for that. But after that, one machine is just doing it. And
again, it all comes down to, like we already talked about this, it all comes down to advanced battery technology.
Mm-hmm.
So things can be more portable. I always imagine these little drones that are like flying 3D printers. So imagine you have like an armada of little drones that have material attached that, like by command through like an AI programs, fly around and build a house within a day. Because the issue with 3D printer, if it's just 3 nozzles, it takes a long time to put the layer by layer. But if you have had like a whole armada of like little drones that build like every intricate detail bit by bit, it would be like you could build an entire house in a day, right?
Yeah. And like, see those houses? Look at that. They even tested it. This is like a small scale model of it. But look at it. The machine. Just printing that shit. Look. This is great. Look at those guys, man. Yep. Look at those. Look at that. Look at the concept art. Hang on. It was here somewhere. Look at that.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's amazing. That is goddamn amazing. Look how cool it looks like. I want a house like that. Look at that. Wouldn't you want to live in one of those? Looks like from a Dragon Ball series.
It does. It does look like some anime
straight up
stuff
from Dragon Ball. So, and that's great.
Just layer by layer.
Yeah. So check this out. The name is Relativity. They are planning going IPO since a while now, but of course you never know. I hope they will. It all depends on like different aspects, you know. But yeah.
I'm personally really excited about a possible printing in space, and how it will behave, you know.
Like in space, in orbit.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. In orbit, yeah. Like I can imagine that it's basically like setting dots and then stretching them, you know, to make lines.
Oh, look at this guy. 3D printing on Mars. Look. Also has his eyes fixed beyond the low Earth orbit, launching service that the company currently provides. We're building the future of humanity's space. he says, everyone is on board with this vision of 3D printing on Mars. Wow.
Nice.
These guys are amazing. So, yeah. So we only had 2 articles for this show this time. This is the end of our show, pretty much.
Oh, already? No.
Yeah. Short. It's a short one.
I had way too much fun.
Yeah. Do you have anything to add?
The only thing I would add is that this new decade is really a decade of a lot of change. 2020, like this year, is going to set how the future is going to go. And I'm really excited for that, and I hope that you, the listeners, are too.
Nice. Me too. 2020 went by so fast, like unbelievable.
Yeah,
well, anyways,
I feel like never mind. You get the show.
Well, anyways, I will put these links in the description, so you can look at them. Their website too. Please subscribe, like, share, follow me on TikTok. Follow my blog. I just released my blog, my own website, and my blog online this morning. I'm usually on Patreon. I started it on Patreon, but I feel like it's better to just have your own website. And you can sign up for free. You can read my blog, and you can watch this there too, this live stream. And I hope you can join next time. Tune in. Soon, when I have more eyes on these podcasts, I will put them on D-Live, and then you can be there live, and there will be a live chat too. And yeah, thank you so much for watching, and I see you next time. Take care.
Bye.
Bye.